Coach, thank you so much for joining me. We're preparing for really the final stretch of the regular season. What is the message to the team, as everyone knows that both of these games are very meaningful?
Yeah, I just think come on, do our stuff and play. Make sure we're playing hard. Make sure we're locked into what we're trying to do, and just execute the fundamentals that we've been working on all year. You don't change anything. You don't overemphasize games. It's just another opportunity for us to go out there and do our stuff.
I think when you have looked back on the film against Columbus State, there were a lot of missed shots. I think of those missed shots, a lot of them seem to be makeable. Is that going to be an adjustment heading into this week?
Well, I thought we got the one thing in basketball you can only do is make sure you're taking good quality shots. Sometimes it's hard to control whether it goes in a hole or not, and you're going to have some days where it goes in better than others. And so just making emphasis that we take good shots. I thought we took a couple quick ones that were probably ill-advised. And then, in the stretch where watching the film, the game was 40-37 for forever. We made about 3 turnovers in that stretch, trying to get ahead of ourselves and try to do some things a little too quickly. So, just a combination of things, and we need to do those better.
Have you ever been involved in a game like that where it was the same score for a long period of time, just teams turning the ball over and missing shots that seem to be makeable at times?
Yeah. I mean, different games have been like that. I don't know if I've ever been in a game where our team shot 17% and actually really had a chance in the last minute and a half to win it. So, and I think that's a credit to some things that we are doing right in terms of defense and rebounding. With a minute 15 seconds, they've only got 50 points. And again, that's a team that averages about 72. And a lot of their points there at the end were when we were fouling and having to put them on the free throw line. So I think that's a credit to what we did on the defensive end. We just didn't get it done on the offensive end.
I think that's one of the big takeaways when looking back at it against Columbus State. It seems like everything was right. It was just the fact that some shots weren't able to fall, were able to limit them to the amount of turnovers they forced on you, as well as other things of that nature, beating them particularly in offensive rebounds when they were one of the leading teams in offensive rebounding. And I know that going into this matchup against Francis Marion, rebounding will be an essential key in order to be successful.
Francis Marion's got great length, and Adderton plays the guard, but she's 6 foot and long. McClaney's about 6'2" and long. And then their post player that hasn't played for a while is just, she's not that tall. She's probably 5'10", but just strong and really positions herself well. So, yeah, rebounding is going to be very important on both ends of the floor. I think taking care of the basketball, and I think making sure, again, we're executing offense and getting quality shots. And we need to be aggressive. I mean, I think the other takeaway from Columbus is we were very aggressive offensively. We shot 37 free throws. So I think being the aggressors offensively and taking the ball to the hole and trying to get to the free throw line will be an important aspect also.
You talked about their length. They have 7 players averaging a height of 5'9" or taller. Kiana Adderton is the catalyst of their team. Crashing the boards is going to be important. I guess containing a player like Adderton seemed to do a pretty good job the last time they played him here, or we played him here. I guess talk about how, a dynamic player.
Well, I think she's kind of the key. Although watching a game against Georgia College from about 2 games ago, I'm not sure if it was Johnson. 23 shot the ball well for him. 11 shot the ball well for him. And again, it's kind of a pick your poison thing, but they play through Adderton. There's no doubt they play through Adderton, and they play her in a post. She kind of plays the 4, but they'll post her up. They'll let her catch it at the top of the key. She creates off the dribble, and I was just talking to Kevin Pedersen at Lander, who played him Saturday, and he said, it's tough because she puts it on the floor a couple of dribbles and gets in 12 feet and just spins and shoots over you because she's 6 foot and you're 5, 7, or 8, and so those are all things that we're going to have to deal with. We did a good job against them. We tried to put a little length on her last time, tried to crowd her a little bit on the catch and make her do things off the dribble and trying to help off some other people. But she missed some good looks too last time. So it just depends.
And another dynamic player, someone who didn't play against us the last time, is Woods, averaging close to 9 rebounds a game. I guess just talk about her presence and how it's going to be a little bit difficult to defend.
She's a strong body, and she probably does as good a job as any post player in this league. Positioning, sealing, ducking in. I mean, if you try to front her, she's going to pin you and try to get the lob. She knows angles. You get on the top side, she's going to seal you and get that pass on the baseline side. You get on the baseline side, she's going to seal you and duck in high-low. She does a great job of using her body. Again, just like everybody else, try to get her off those spots where she doesn't get too deep. And then the other thing, I think, is try to make her score over you because she's not a real tall post player, so try to use some length and make her shoot over you. And then the most important thing is box her out when the shot goes up on the glass.
Speaking about post players, we talked about Deja last week, and she seems to be really being comfortable in the offense the last few games, especially with her face up to the basket. But I think also Jill has done a really good job when she's checked in, trying to get points underneath the basket as well.
Yeah. Jill's skilled. She sees the floor. She can catch it in there in a high post. She can shoot it, put it on the floor a little bit, find other people. Sometimes she gets against size around the basket. It's a little more difficult for her to finish. And then Deja's really confident shooting that face-up jumper. And so those are good looks inside the zone. I think Francis Marion will probably change it up some against us and play a little bit of man-end zone. They did both last time. The last couple of games I've looked at and coaches I've talked to, they've kind of mixed their defenses up a little bit. So I think they manned Lander mostly this weekend, but Georgia College, they mix up man-end zone. So we're expecting to see a little bit of both.
I think another improvement, Aaliyah Farmer is 1 for 11. A better player than what that stat line shows. I think a lot of times from her shots that were missed, they were just right underneath the basket. I'm sure that's a clean fix. That's easy in practice this week.
I just think just taking your time, not rushing things. And then the other thing is just confidence, not getting frustrated. And I think there was a little bit of frustration set in with a number of our players, with Aaliyah, that the ball just wouldn't go in the hole. But you look at the game she had against Augusta. She's 9 for 9. She's 1 for 11. That's 50%. That's 10 for 20. It all evens out. I think you're going to have some nights where you shoot a little bit better than you think you might, and you're going to have some nights where you shoot a little bit worse. But I think it's continuing to believe that ball's going to go in the hole and make sure you're taking the shots you can make and then knocking them down.
From these past couple of games, you have to love the aggressiveness by all of your guards, particularly the freshman guards. Courtney Smith had 10 points, 8 of them from the free throw line. Just her tenacity to be aggressive, driving in the lane, as well as AP. I guess talking about how much growth you've seen from these two freshmen guards.
Yeah, really good. I thought Courtney had a really good second half. She came in and I think she made a couple mistakes early in the first half, and we took her right back out and said, hey, you need to be ready to play. And I thought she did a great job for us the second half. And Courtney will attack the rim. She does a good job attacking the rim. The biggest thing we need to work with Courtney now is to go in there on a controlled jump stop and find people when she doesn't have the shot. But I was looking at our stats today, and this surprised me. Courtney's number 1 in free throws attempts, and Alcinia's number 2, which I'm like, okay, 2 freshmen, and Courtney's only playing about 16 minutes a game, and she's leading us in free throw attempts. So that shows how aggressive she is attacking the basket, and I think she'll just continue to get better and better. I talked to her before practice, I think Friday. I said, hey, you need to be trying to dominate offensively. You just need to come out with a little more confidence and that aggressiveness, looking for your shot or looking to attack people off the dribble. And I think she'll continue to grow, as will AP, and continue to get better. And excited about those two players moving on.
Lastly, for you, you mentioned about players growing confidence. Melanie Horn has shown a lot of confidence the last 3 games, averaging 11 points in the last 3 games. Someone that you look forward to seeing down this last week of stretch of games to really put the ball in the basket.
Well, we need Melanie. I mean, she needs to be looking for a shot, and she needs to shoot it well. And we need to do a good job getting her shots, because that's the one emphasis I think that our opponent's going to have is we got to take away Melanie Horn's 3-point opportunities. So, we've got to do some things to get her some shots. I think she's got to continue to be aggressive and put the ball on the floor, attack the basket some, and force the issue. And she did that a couple of times Saturday. I thought one time she scored. One time I thought she got fouled, and they didn't call it. But continue to be aggressive offensively. But we need Melanie to score. There's no doubt about that.
Coach, down to the wire, games are meaningful, and I'm sure you're going to get your team's best effort. We look forward to it against Francis Marion on Wednesday.
We're looking to go down there Wednesday and hopefully have a great game.